Forum. Regretfully, I will be unable to attend due to my official legislative obligations. As you may be aware, we are in the midst of serious budget meetings, the outcome of which will affect all residents of Putnam County, Republicans, Democrats, Conservatives, and unaffiliated. However, I wish to present a short statement. For 6 years, I have held the line on runaway spending without compromising needed expenditures for our most valuable citizens: seniors, children, disabled, women, and veterans. Also, I have opposed additional tax increases, the very spending that drives our residents out of their homes and the community they love. Not a rubber stamp for the powerful, I have stood against the odds. That has meant questioning every dollar that is spent and that I opposed. I oppose wasteful, feel-good legislation that adds to bureaucratic bloat and ultimately ends up costing taxpayers money. My critics say that I question everything and refuse to sign blank checks, but that is what my constituents expect and deserve. You have shown your faith and trust in me as your representative by electing me for 2 terms. Now I need your vote this November 4th to continue the fight for honest and responsible government. Thank you, Legislator Dean LaRue.
Amy Sage then responded that she will not be attending the forum as she wanted a debate. We have not received a statement from her to be read at this forum. Therefore, we will continue to segment number 3. The candidates for Putnam County Executive are Mary Ellen Odell and Sam Oliverio. Mary Ellen Odell sent a statement which I will read. While I appreciate the invitation to participate in the candidate forum organized by the concerned citizens of Carmel and Mahopac, I will be unable to attend the event. The Putnam County Libraries Association will be holding its meeting on the same night, and I have already committed myself to attending that meeting. As you know, I have been a Carmel resident for most of my life. I am proud to have grown up in Carmel and to have been able to raise my own family within the hamlet of Carmel. I share the same concerns that my neighbors have. We must find a way to make government smaller, taxes lower, and grow our economy so we can afford to live within the beautiful borders of Putnam. It is for that reason that I am running for re-election to be Putnam's county executive. I have always been a woman of action and have no intention of slowing down. I am a co-founder and past president of the Carmel Sports Association, which, unlike other local sports organizations, provides little league sporting opportunities for our youth without any subsidy from our local municipalities. As county legislator, I co-chair the Commission on Fiscal Vision and Accountability, which identified ways to consolidate government and share services with other local municipalities. During my administration, we have implemented many of the strategies that the Commission developed. Since I took office, Putnam County has kept its budgets within the tax cap, despite the increase in mandated expenses and lack of relief. The cost of government has grown too cumbersome. The only way the county can be sustainable and even flourish is through public-private partnerships and the consolidation or sharing of services. In fact, our collaborations have afforded us the possibility to expand the quality of life services offered to our county residents. Putnam has teamed up with Mercy College to offer a master's degree program in organizational leadership focused on emergency management and security. We have partnered with Putnam Northern Westchester BOCES to offer skills training for its building and trade high school students. And we'll soon be offering BOCES courses at Tilly Foster Farm. We also formed intermunicipal agreements with the local towns and villages to share equipment and services so there's less redundancy and expenses. I regret not being able to attend the forum, but hope you will be able to share my vision for Putnam County. Respectfully, Mary Ellen Odell. Sam Oliverio will now present his 2-minute opening statement.
Can I have an extra 15 seconds? Only 15 seconds. Good evening. I'm Sam Oliverio, 18-year member of the Putnam County Legislature, Army veteran, assistant principal, Putnam Valley High School. I want to thank the concerned residents, Carmel, Mahopac, for having this forum this evening. I'm running for county executive because I believe that the greatest priority in county government has got to be the health and safety of our residents. I believe that balanced government is the best form of government, and that one-party rule is destructive to the democratic process and does not enable all our representatives to have a voice in government. I believe that the excess sales tax that towns like Carmel and Patterson and Southeast, the sales tax that they generate, that excess sales tax, a part of that should go back to the towns. We get over $1 million to $2.5 million every year in excess sales tax. And it's the towns that support this, that provide this sales tax to the county. They should receive a small stipend back of that excess. I believe that the endless bonding that's going on in this county to a tune of $70 million, $15 million in the past 3 years, $70 million is half our budget. This has got to stop. You can't always get what you want, but you should get what you need. Unfortunately, there's been a vision in the past 3 years to get whatever you want and pay for it later on that bonding credit card. That has got to stop. I believe that we must hire the most qualified Putnam County residents for our highest paid positions before even starting the search looking beyond our borders. I believe that in these tough economic times, the county executive needs to lead and have vision and tighten the belt. Therefore, I will lower the county executive salary from $148,000 to $102,000. Finally, I believe that Putnam County is the people's county, that all residents need to be represented. And if you believe like I do, I'm asking you to vote for Sam Oliverio come November 4th.
Okay. We will now take questions from the audience.
Please, let's have some.
I'm Marcia Waldman, Mahopac. I have some concerns about how properties owned by the county have been managed by the county. And I think as, you know, you're in your position as the legislature, you're aware of details that probably many of the citizens are not aware of. But I'm concerned about Tilly Foster Farm, about the golf club, the golf course, and about some of the office buildings that I understand kind of have been thrown in the real estate, I don't know, mix, without the knowledge or approval of the county citizens. And how can these benefit our county instead of being a draw on the county?
Again, I believe that the key issues in county government have got to be health and safety issues. The golf course is a great thing. Tilly Foster Farm is a great thing. It stopped mass development. Each of those areas, if developed, would have produced close to 400 residential units, banging our infrastructure, our schools. We have them now. Now it's time to let the lease arrangement at the golf course continue without government intervention. I do not believe the government, the county government, should be overseeing day-to-day operations at that golf course. That is a major mistake. A lot of mischief can occur when government puts its hand in private business. We have a great lease arrangement. The people running the catering and the golf course are experts. They're from the private sector. Leave them alone. Let that golf course succeed where it is. Tilly Foster Farm, that's a historic designated area. It represents our agricultural past. It should be kept that way. Some of the things they're talking about doing with Tilly Foster frighten me. I want that to be preserved.
Next question? Yes, ma'am.
Cindy Katz, Carmel. The question is fairly simple. One of the things that I was delighted with when we took over the Tilly Foster Farm was being able to drive by and watch the horses.
Yes.
And it's horrible to go by there now and just see the fencing and we're mowing the grass. What could you do? You are elected as the county executive to change this scenario. Bring sheep. I mean, we don't need fancy pigs. We just need pigs. What can you do to change the scenario?
If you just cross the border a little bit from Putnam, go into Westchester, you see the Hanover Farm and Muscoot Farm. They are surviving entities from our agricultural past, and they're making money. There is a little bit of government money going into their county money, but basically it's an even bill of sales. What comes in goes out. Tilly Foster should be our Muscoot Farm or our Hanover Farm. The plans before the legislature to revamp that into a money-making cash cow, to use that phrase, cow, it really bothers me a great deal because Tilly Foster is a gem. It should stay within its historic perimeters and bring it back, and I agree with you 100%, to the farm-like atmosphere it was when Mr. Whipple had it.
We have time for one more question. Yes, sir.
It's a multi-stage question. To begin with, you've said that for the last several years the county has run a surplus.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, you know,
absolutely.
And we're calling it extra tax income, but it's a surplus.
Yes.
Okay. Budgets usually from year to year are based on probability. So that if you've got a budget that's running a surplus this year, 2 years ago, then you can sort of, predict that you're going to have. Why isn't that money put into the budget initially? In terms of the budget committee of the legislature, and why doesn't the county executive respect the fact that this is real money and the decision should be based on what's needed as opposed to what's going to be given because we've got a surplus?
Right. Very good question, Bernie. The bottom line is that surplus, I predicted $2.5 million to be in excess sales tax this year. Last year I predicted $1.5 million. The year before that I predicted $0.75 million. I've been correct every year. You look at the books, you can judge what the market will bear as far as excess sales tax. The problem is it's a lot easier to go out and buy trucks or pigs or fix up Tilly Foster or fix up the catering center at the golf course using bonding, the credit card, the governmental credit card than it is to pull from that excess, because now you can use that excess to artificially lower taxes and make yourself look good. I'm a firm believer, pay as you go. That's why for the past 12 bonding requests, I have voted no on every single one. We have the cash, utilize it, or give it back to the taxpayers who put it there. Nobody's hearing that, and that's unfortunate.
Let me get on to the second part of the question. Okay. The second, issue is that in terms of the information that I've read regarding business development, economic development, tourism, we seem to be the lowest functioning county in the Hudson Valley. Given that we don't have a good record in terms of economic development, we don't have a good record in terms of building, building upon the tourism dollar that could be, very well be, that we don't have a good reputation in terms of educational opportunities and higher educational opportunities for our youngsters. We don't have a good record in terms of recreational activities, especially considering the drug crisis that's going on, recreational activities other than sports activities in this county. Could you give us an idea in terms of these kind of issues, where you think you would want to go in terms of attending to these type of things?
That's a big question.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
The first thing
I get it all in.
My focus has always been our main streets. We made great mistakes back in the 70s and 80s when we promoted the box stores. All they do is alter our environment, destroy the green, and don't provide for our mom and pops, who really were the backbone economically of this county. The people who had the hardware store, the candy store, the newspaper outlet, the wine and liquor store, the bookstore. That's where we need to concentrate. We need to bring back our main streets. Give those main street merchants the same breaks we have been giving these big developers who just smash down these huge box stores on beautiful property and then walk away with a nice profit. We need to help our own, and that will gear up the wheels of economic development within this county. We need to focus on that, and then when that money starts coming in, the sales tax, the excess sales tax, utilize for the things that help our citizens. Again, my belief, number one priority of county government is the health and safety of our residents.
Are there any more questions? Yes, sir. This will be our last question.
Good evening, my name is Bob Ferguson, I'm from Mahopac. Just a question, you were mentioning the big box stores, but my question is, what about a hotel conference center? How is the county moving on that? Because other than living here, you can't find a place to bed down at night if you come here for a function. And, I don't want to, I like the golf course because that's an attraction.
Sure,
but
it is.
If people come here to attend a function or something, there's no place to stay in this town.
You're absolutely right. They're going to the border to Connecticut, or they're going to Dutchess. You would make a terrific planner for the county, because that's an issue that Deanie LeBou, myself, Roger Gross, a couple of other legislators have stressed. That is smart development. Get a hotel in here, a nice conference center. It would be condensed, it would be not a sprawl, not requiring an enormous parking lot, and it would provide jobs and income. But yet, we're concentrating on other things in this county. And that's the real difficulty. The county executive and I have a perspective of Putnam County that is night to day. I like the hotel. I love Tilly Foster as a historic setup. I like the golf course to be run privately. Well, there's a different vision that the county executive has as compared to mine. I agree with you 100%.
Okay.
Hotel is the way to go.
Can I just add one other thing? Just a question. Many of we baby boomers still like to go to concerts. But when we go to a concert, we have to go up to Ridgefield in Connecticut, we have to go to Tarrytown, we have to go down the city. If they had a venue like a hotel with a small little auditorium that could hold maybe 300 people, we could have concerts right here in Putnam County, and those people can stay over and they could pay their 8.75% room tax, and we would generate a lot of income into the county and into the town.
You want to run for government? You make a lot of sense. I agree with you. I have no reply other than you're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
So now Mr. Oliverio will have his 2-minute closing statement.
Thank you.
Oh, any more?
We have another question?
Very quickly, I was born upstate New York in Rensselaer and Columbia County. Upstate New York is a very sad place right now. I'm very happy to be living in Putnam County, but I have to work in Westchester County in order to help support my family. I'm looking to find out what ways Putnam County can improve and, in fact, introduce more creative ways of supporting our own, beyond things like casinos and the things that I think actually devastate on a short-term basis what's going on. I'm looking for more creativity, and my question is, how can we do that in our county, preserving the things that I love, coming from upstate, the beauty, the rural aspect of our county, as well as being able to support the residents.
You know, one of the things in 2001 that I introduced, and I had the then Senator Leibel introduce enabling legislation to allow us to do this in Putnam County. I wanted to push through a community college of our own. Right now, we're paying tuition to Westchester and to Dutchess. If our kids go there, we have to pay. The county pays that. You pay that, taxpayers. I have been a big advocate of getting a community college in here to create jobs and keep our own young people within our county to realize that there is an economic base and an educational base that we really care about. Unfortunately, I was never able to get it out of my committee. I've been chairman of the Health Education Committee since I've been on the legislature, and there's always been resistance. As county executive, that is one of the things I will push, and push very hard. We need a small community college. Doesn't have to be huge, but it would be a start. And it's not that much money. The money we pay to our surrounding community college would certainly make up the difference. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
I'm Phyllis Honig from Mahopac. Sam, you mentioned you mentioned the community college. I wonder what you think about the idea of having BOCES have their culinary class at Tilly Foster. That would be bringing some college, some classes.
That's high school.
In high school. Well, actually, it would be good to have college, but high school is good too. How do you feel about that?
I'm a little upset with the culinary focus of the project that the administration has introduced, because in providing that culinary perspective, they're going to destroy one of the historic buildings to make it fit this classroom environment. I wanted BOCES to come there with an equine program, a horse training program, which they have BOCES in Nassau County. I have looked at it, I have studied it. I would love to see our young people get involved in agriculture or farming, using Tilly Foster for the purpose it was created. The culinary, I still haven't wrapped my mind around that yet. I don't understand that intent. If we're going to do it, utilize the farm for why it was built, for agriculture. So I'm not a big fan of the culinary push. I would like to see some BOCES, but that's night to day from college. A community college is much different, and nobody wants to do that, it seems, in the current administration except myself.
Any more questions? You may have your 2 minutes.
Okay. Again, I want to thank the concerned residents of Carmel and Mahopac for having this forum. I regret the county executive is not here. I would have loved to have seen the responses to the questions that you have asked. Bottom line is this. I have grown up in this county all my life, lifelong resident. I see our county taking a path that really worries me and concerns me. Because again, from my heart, I've been a public servant for over 40 years, whether it was the military, whether it was serving on civic organizations, an assistant principal, or in government, starting as a town council person all the way up to legislature, and I hope county executive. My belief has always been, and I love the phrase from, I believe it's Rotary, that says service before self. There is no greater honor that we can give each other than to help each other, and that's what government is about. You know, I see our sheriff in the back, Sheriff Don Smith. There's a gentleman, his department, that lives that motto. All our departments live that motto within the county. Unfortunately, our administration sometimes gears off of that and would rather deal with things like a golf course or trying to, I don't even know how to explain what they're doing to Tilly Foster. It breaks my heart because that's such a historic area. And when I saw that carnival that could be in any parking lot, it ripped me apart. There's a different vision here. And I'm offering the vision of care and concern with a focus of experience of over 22 years in governmental work. If you believe like I do, and all the things I've talked about, making government's priority the health and safety, tightening our belt and doing it in a constructive leadership manner, then I ask you to vote for me November 4th for county executive. I swear I will never let you down. Thank you.